Alright, hello, welcome back to Zanthyst Gaming. Don't do this challenge rip till after the season starts Friday. Again, don't do this challenge rip till after the season starts Friday. Alright, we've got that out of the way. Sorry, that was probably really loud. I've tried recording this intro a few times and I'm kind of blabbering, so I'm going to try and make this as quick and short, as sweet as possible. I've been gone for 2 weeks. We moved 1,700 miles. I had to move everything I own and unpack everything I own, and it was crazy. I've only done like 4 streams in the last week, so that's why you haven't had videos for the last couple weeks. I do apologize for that. Moving on to the build. We're doing Natalia's build with Cluster Arrow and Rain of Vengeance. He is using Envious Blade, so you have 100% crit chance when everything's at full. Please keep in mind that your auto attack, your generator, your evasive fire does fire all the way to the end of the screen and then some. So you can actually hit mobs off screen with this. So keep that in mind if you want to save damage on elite that you know is coming up. Other than that, it's pretty easy. You can drop a Vortex Station on them, drop Rain of Vengeance. The Vortex Station will give you the extra damage from, or Polar Station, sorry, will give you the extra damage from Bane of the Trapped, which does extra damage to slowed enemies. Otherwise, your Bane of the Trapped does have an aura on it, so if you just walk up into the middle of the enemies, that's another way to apply the slow. The attacks themselves, the Rain of Vengeance does freeze, but the other 2 attacks do not slow or freeze in any way, so keep that in mind. You are wearing a Frostburn, so you have a 20% chance to freeze, but you want to get that reliable slow on elites. Okay, I think that's about as quick as I can make that. Let's go and get into this. I also moved where my W was or where my vault is to the 2 key, because that makes the most sense to me. I don't know why anyone would have it on the 1 key, but teach their own, right? It's wrong, but teach their own. I do have to kill this guy, unfortunately, because I have to kill the elite plus all of his little buddies. Otherwise, I don't get the progression with my Bane of the Trap, which I really want to have. So I'm just moving forward, and on the big packs, I'm dropping a station, and then I'm just dropping my Rain of Vengeance and my Cluster Arrows as much as possible, right? So I'm just going to drop that. Cluster Arrow, Vengeance, etc., until he dies, right? And again, I want to kill his minions, so I do take the extra 2 seconds to kill that one little bat that didn't die. That way I keep my uptime on my Bane of the Powerful. I'm going to vault through those guys. It does avoid collision detection, so you can do that to get past things that you don't really want to fight. I could kind of rope-a-dope and round these guys up here a little bit because it's pretty good density, and I think I'll do just that. And then we'll just kind of drop our Rain of Vengeance and our Cluster Arrows as we get them. That's a pretty good chunk of progression in this little section here. So, probably didn't need to come down this section because this section is just skeletons, I think. And we've got Buried Hulks over here, so we'll go ahead and kill them. Yeah. Work your way through this. Nice little pack here we can kill. Again, I was out of my hatred, so I started spamming my generator in order to get that back. And then get the Rain of Vengeance back, and then, yeah. Wow, I'm really fried, I'm sorry. I've spent, in addition to unpacking my house and everything else, I've spent the last 7 days, other than the weekend, like, doing, like, 9-hour trainings for my new job. I got a teaching job in the Washington coastal area, and the trainings have been long and intense. Pretty good though, pretty good. Excited about the schools up here. I think they're in a pretty good state, feels like. Lots of good policies, so very excited to begin work. Oops, I almost died there. Focus on what you're doing, Zan. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna pop the power pylon. Let's band-aid through it. I'm gonna not get killed by the frozen. Then I'll grab my globes. All right. And now here we want to go down. There's a little note on your map, down and then to the right. So if you find yourself getting lost on the spaghetti maps, like I do, I wrote directions for you. Mostly for me though, for the night that the season launches, right? But they're for you guys too, really. I swear. So there's an elite there at the end by the portal. Again, I want to kind of kill his locusts, even though they kind of spread all over the place, making it much harder to do so, but doing that refreshes the timer on my Bane of the Powerful. which is a pretty powerful multiplier. You definitely want to have it. Ha, that's why they named it that. Anywho. Ba-dum-bump, drum roll. Rim shots. Whatever. And just keep moving through this. At this point, you should be quite ahead of the time. If you're not, you're dying too much. Just remember, alter between left click, right click, and always mash your 4 key, or in my case, R key, as much as possible. Remember, you can use your vault to avoid predictable damage that's coming in and all that stuff. There's going to be elite right here. This elite will actually push me up to the Rift Guardian most likely. It does usually. I'll just go ahead and die right before then so you guys feel good, you know. Get a good laugh at my expense. And then I'm just going to kill him. Yeah, that's it. All calculated. And that death was calculated too to just show you how much extra time you have on this Rift. Even if you're dying, you're completely fine. Completely calculated deaths. Not accidental at all. For sure. Yep. You guys believe that, right? Channeling Pylon if you need it. If you start running out of time, I prefer to use it on the Rift Guardian. I didn't clear quite as much trash as I would have liked. But there are several more elites just like right around the corner down here. So if you find yourself not having nearly enough progression, there's like 3 or 4 here. I have marked them on the map for you, depending on what your progression needs are, right? And I'm going to stop right there because I don't really want to summon the Rift Guardian and lose my challenge Rift for the week. But this is basically about in this area is where you have to clear to. Hopefully that helps you guys. If it does, make sure you like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And please remember, once again, do not do this challenge Rift until after the season starts on Friday. See you guys Friday. Happy start of season. Don't forget, I have a complete Survivor Guide help tutorial playlist on my channel for leveling strategies, leveling techniques, optimal routes for leveling, all the different tips and tricks for leveling, as well as my recommendations for gambling and such. Make sure you guys check that out. See you guys later and have a wonderful night and happy start of season.